Imagine this. You're over 60, and suddenly your bladder seems to have a mind of its own, rushing you to the bathroom more often than you'd like, leaving you with that nagging sense of urgency, or maybe even a little leak when you least expect it. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone, and this journey we're about to take together could shine a light on something life-changing. With a bit of health wisdom, we're diving into the surprising connection between bladder troubles and a sneaky little vitamin deficiency that might just be the key to turning things around. Oh, and stick around, because you'll want to like, share, comment, and subscribe to keep this wisdom flowing. Now, bladder issues can feel like a mystery, right? You might be waking up 3 or 4 times a night, wondering why your body won't give you a break. Or maybe you're dashing to the restroom during the day, hoping no one notices how often you're slipping away. It's frustrating, and if you've ever tried searching online for answers, you've probably found a mess of confusing articles that all say the same thing: nothing useful, just recycled nonsense written by folks who've never dealt with a bladder in real life. But here's the good news. There's a common thread behind these struggles, and it's not as complicated as it seems. It's tied to your nerves, your brain, and a nutrient your body might be crying out for. Let's picture your bladder for a moment. It's this hard-working muscle, quietly storing urine until it's time to let it go. Surrounding it is a team of smooth muscles and nerves, all chatting with a special spot in your brain that acts like a control tower. That control tower, nestled deep in your head, decides when it's go time for your bladder. But here's the kicker, that part of your brain, along with the nerves keeping everything in sync, is super sensitive to running low on a vitamin called B1, thiamine, if you want to get fancy. When B1 levels dip, it's like the signal gets fuzzy, and suddenly, your bladder might be overactive, sluggish, or just not playing nice. So, why does this happen? Think of B1 as the fuel that keeps your nervous system humming along. It's a big deal for the myelin sheath, that protective coating around your nerves, and it helps your body turn carbs and sugar into energy. If you are eating a lot of bread, pasta, or sweets, your B1 gets used up fast, and when it's gone, those nerve signals can start to misfire. Take someone with type 2 diabetes, for example. Half of them deal with bladder issues, and it's no coincidence. A friend of mine, let's call her Sarah, was in her late 50s when she started feeling the tingly numbness in her feet, a classic sign of nerve trouble tied to low B1. Turns out, her frequent bathroom trips were part of the same story. Her body was waving a red flag. Here's where it gets interesting. This isn't just about diabetes. Even if your blood sugar's fine, aging, insulin resistance, or a carb-heavy diet can quietly drain your B1 stash. Picture a busy mom, maybe in her 60s, let's call her Linda, who loved her nightly bowl of buttery popcorn. She'd laugh about racing to the bathroom during movie night, but it wasn't until she cut back on those carbs that she noticed her bladder calming down. That's the magic of B1. It's a hidden player in so many of these everyday struggles, and most folks don't even know it's missing until the signs pile up. Now, you might be wondering, could something else be causing your bladder woes? Sure, things like an enlarged prostate, a prolapsed bladder, or even chugging too much water before bed can stir up trouble. Infections or fibroids might be in the mix too. But here's the thing, across all these scenarios, B1 deficiency keeps popping up as a quiet culprit. It's like the friend who's always there but never gets credit. Ignore it, and you might end up with a prescription or a procedure that doesn't quite fix the root of the problem. So why not explore this first? So, how do you tackle this? Let's walk through it together. It's simpler than you think. First, you've got to refill that B1 tank. There are 2 types to try: a fat-soluble kind called benfotiamine and a natural, water-soluble B1. Just make sure it's not the synthetic stuff. Pop both for a couple of months, And if you're really low, you might feel a shift in just 2 weeks. I once suggested this to a neighbor. Let's say his name was Tom, a 62-year-old who was up every hour at night. He grumbled about supplements at first, but after a few weeks, he was sleeping longer and grinning about it. Next, you've got to stop the B1 drain. What's the biggest thief? Those carbs we love so much. Think cookies, rice, or even that morning bagel. Ease into a low-carb diet. Maybe toss in some intermittent fasting and watch what happens. Linda, our popcorn fan, swapped her snack for crunchy celery with a smear of almond butter. Same satisfying crunch, way less bladder drama. What's your go-to carb? Could you swap it for something lighter and see how your body responds? Here's another trick. Keep an eye on your bladder's sensors. You've got two kinds in there. One tracks how full it is. The other checks how concentrated your urine is. Ever feel like you've got to go, but barely anything comes out? That's the concentration talking. Sip about 2.5 liters of water throughout the day. Stop by early evening though, so you're not up all night. Add a splash of apple cider vinegar to that water, say a tablespoon or 2, and you might steady your blood sugar while you're at it, especially if insulin resistance is in the picture. Speaking of drinks, how much caffeine are you sipping? That coffee or tea might be revving your bladder into overdrive. Try cutting back to a small cup in the morning. Tom swore it made a difference for him, and he didn't even miss his afternoon latte after a while. It's all about experimenting with what works for you. What's one little tweak you could try today to give your bladder a breather? One more gem to try. Give your bladder a gentle massage. Sounds odd, right? But if it's feeling sluggish or congested, pressing lightly within your comfort zone can wake it up. I used to suggest this to folks years ago, and they'd come back saying it helped clear out that lingering urine and tone things up. Picture yourself giving it a try after a long day. Maybe you'll feel that urge to go, and it'll actually work like it's supposed to. Now, B1 doesn't just run low because of carbs, stress, alcohol, or even certain meds can zap it too. But the beauty of this approach is how practical it is. You're not overhauling your life. You're making small, smart shifts that add up. Think of it like tending a garden. Little by little, you nurture it back to health. What's one habit you've got that might be sneaking away your B1? Maybe it's that extra glass of wine or those late-night pretzels. Could you nudge it aside for something kinder to your body? Let's tie this together with a story. Imagine a guy, call him Mike, mid-60s, who was fed up with his leaky bladder ruining his golf game. He ducked behind a tree mid-round, embarrassed but laughing it off, though inside he felt his confidence slipping with every interruption. He started with the B1 Duo, trimmed his carb-loaded lunches goodbye, sandwich bread, and added that vinegar trick to his water bottle. At first, he wasn't sure. Would this really work? But a month later, he was bragging about finishing 18 holes without a pit stop, his grin wide as he recounted the freedom of uninterrupted swings. His buddies noticed too, asking what changed, and Mike just chuckled, sharing his newfound secret. That's the kind of real world when we're chasing here. Not miracles, just results you can feel, the kind that ripple into everyday moments and make life a little brighter. So, where are you on this journey? Are you ready to test out a few of these ideas and see how your bladder responds? It's not about perfection. It's about partnering with your body to find what clicks. Maybe start with the B1 and a carb swap. Keep it simple and let me know how it goes. Drop a comment below. I'd love to hear your story or what you're curious about next. Here's the thing. This isn't just about fixing a problem. It's about reclaiming your days and nights, feeling in control again. You deserve that, and it's closer than you think. Take that first step today. Grab some B1, Sip that vinegar water, or just cut back on the coffee, and watch how your body thanks you. Then come back here, like this video, share it with someone who needs it, and subscribe so we can keep exploring this health wisdom together. Let's build a community of folks who've got each other's backs. Your next win might inspire someone else's.